So do we have an intro prepared or?
I
think the audience knows who we are at this point.
I'm gonna be honest. I viewed this once, and I just do not like it at all. MGG has talked to me about how this is just like, you know, the casual perception of the video.
I think I should have like re-specified what I meant by that, but we can get on to that when the video is. He's Software Neo, I'm MGG, he's Waffle Man. We make fun of things all the time. I don't know if we're considered mean-spirited people or that group that is not that you want to be associated with, but we're ripping on this video again.
We need easy content.
People cannot talk and say my ass is mean-spirited, because that Zeta video could have been way worse.
Yeah, like, you're right.
Like, no one can say to me that I am mean-spirited as hell. I try to give people and things a chance to try to understand it. I will not have this slander in the comment section.
You know what? Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but people detect a little bit of meanness. It's like, no, you're a jerk. You're a bad faith YouTuber. You're not worth listening to. Boycott his ass.
It's okay. Mock Rock will just put a pipe bomb in our houses.
Greg doesn't even know who we are.
Only 200 people have watched that video.
Shut up, Waffle!
He works 7 days a week on YouTube. You think he has enough time to watch those videos? Maybe. You could get his little iPhone and watching this, though, while he's sleeping next to his girlfriend.
Is this the fucking Simpsons race car bed meme? I have a race car bed. What do you have? I plow my wife every day.
Oh.
And I get millions of views.
Alright, let's do it.
Whoa there, buddy. Haven't you seen the news? Smash Bros. Just officially ended for real. Just now, not a moment sooner. Which means it's the perfect time for competitors to release their own platform fighting games to gobble up that newly vacant market.
Yeah, I know that was a bit, but literally, weren't these games, like, also made, like, technically even before the last character got announced, technically?
Yeah.
No, yeah, they were development.
I just don't like the argument or even the fellation of, like, yeah, they were just here to soak up this market, when it's like, some people just wanted to make these games, man.
Yeah, it is kind of frustrating to just see them downplayed like this.
I mean, maybe like with the big companies wise, I could totally see it's like, oh damn, Smash Ultimate sold like 6 million copies like before the end of the year. Shoot, we gotta capitalize on this or whatever. Like, I can see that. That's just how business works. But like, indie creators now.
Quick, get a small team to make a Nickelodeon game now.
Yeah, but indie creators, yeah, I don't agree. All right, let's do it to it.
Yeah, I know I'm a little late to this platform fighting game discussion, considering the double whammy of multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Battle Royale happened quite a while ago, but I'm a huge fan of Smash Bros. I know, I'm really breaking new ground here in the opinion territory. But I've played so much Smash that I've long since run out of Smash to play, so I've always been excited at the idea of some new Smash-adjacent competitors entering the scene, but there's been a recent development amongst the Smash clone crowd.
Oof.
Opinion invalidated.
Oof.
Yeah, I understand that it's a bit, and he even uses platform fighting, but why the fuck are we even doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we even giving people an inch?
I don't want to be the type of person like, oh, you said this, you automatically invalidated or whatever, but there's also different subcategories. Rawwin got angry when I said melee-like. I mean, I don't know if he was actually angry, but he argued with me, so maybe.
It's not that it's invalidating his whole thing. It's just that it's not making the situation any better. I'm just saying.
No, yeah, you're not helping your case, I would say. Yeah, it's just a bad light, I would say.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which is that they're failing.
Failing? I mean, it depends on your definition of failing, but sure, whatever, we'll roll with it.
I think I said this in Astrocat's video, but like Nasby 1 is the best Nickelodeon game to ever be sold ever.
And also with Multiversus Steam charts, that's only like 1/4 of the player base.
If you can beat Battle of Bikini Bottom, I feel like you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it kind of does fall to that mentality of like, oh, it's a 6 or 7 out of 10, still sucks. Like, you know, it's moderate success, not good enough, blah, 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 type of deal. But yes, like, Multiverse is still doing okay. It's not breaking records, but it's not breaking records anymore, but it's doing okay. So I don't know. People exaggerate, blah blah blah. Play an actual failing game.
Yeah, Strive literally exists. I don't want to hear this statement.
Play Dimension versus Await.
I don't want to do a video on Dimension versus.
Hey, I'll do it for you if I could play it.
I would give you it, but I can't.
Set up
give me the password to your Steam account.
I already did it for Isaac, so I can do it for you. I don't care.
Or, well, one of them is. So, like a vulture at sunrise, I swoop in to carefully analyze what happened here and give my much less carefully planned out thoughts on it all.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic.
Wow. What a cool transition.
Melee 2 ad break.
Please do not dox my location.
Please do not dox my location.
I have gotten ads on here that has given away like places around me. It's like I hate that. I fucking hate it.
Oh, don't worry, bud. I'm blank screening that shit. It's okay.
Also, I forgot to mention, it did come out. It was called Brawl.
The platform fighting game genre started out as just Super Smash Bros.
And Outfoxes.
Wait, well, yeah, I was about to say Outfoxes, but I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't research that.
I don't blame anyone that they don't know what Outfoxes are.
I know Outfoxes exist because that 40-minute video, but I'm gonna be honest, I did not care for seeing that video. Not because I watched it and I declined, but I do not care about the Outfoxes enough.
Insert the Peter Griffin in the flooding house image.
Yeah, and it's just fucking Coney with his beloved fucking icons.
You can
like hugging it like a stuffed animal.
You can make that a short when it becomes 3 minutes and talk about why you don't care about Outfoxes there.
Remember to loop it.
I wasn't even paying attention when he said we were talking over it anyway. What did he say?
Oh, yeah.
And it remained as only Smash Bros. For quite a long time.
Not true. There was TV Dream World Mix stuff.
There was other games, but they weren't as popular.
Until recently, the still sizable crowd of Melee fans started to realize that the Smash series was most likely never going to focus on their very competitive crowd in any future games. So that's an obvious opportunity for, hey, here's people who want something. If we just make that something for them, a pretty easy business model. Easy money, easy honey. Like the bees who make our games. Because they're workers. Worker bees. Initially, it was just a small wave of platform fighters around when Smash 4 was ending, but then Ultimate released and Smash fans returned to their origin point until we entered the current era of Ultimate is done, there's nothing left, which was when the realization of an untapped market was big enough to reach beyond the developers who were just fans of Smash and finally land on the desks of those massive corporations who would just love to make a lot more money.
Okay, he already said it though, but like to anyone who hasn't seen this video, what was your first thought? Like, oh, he's only gonna talk about Multiverses and Nazby and that's it.
Yeah.
He does talk about Rivals, and he does say he likes Rivals, but it's only for 3 platform fighter series.
Yeah, but it ignores all of this history and all of these things that people were trying to do at that time. It's like, we want to say corporations, but literally the only reason why fucking PlayStation All-Stars was hated so much was because nobody fucking killed regularly in the Super Meter. If that was fucking changed, people would actually like that game and it would probably have a future. What about the Toho game that fucking got canceled? No one's gonna talk about that? What about fucking, that game that those 2 games that I talked about, the canceled ones, fucking,
Cancer?
Well, he doesn't know about those games.
I get that, but like you should at least know about like PlayStation All-Stars and stuff like that, and to imply that it's like, oh yeah, these money grubbing companies, they just wanted to swipe in what it's like. No, these things were here before like Ultimate even like was being talked about. In fact, most of the new ones that were being talked about or being done were in the Smash 4 games. It's trying to make this thing be like more devious than what it really is, and
I can't believe companies want to make money off of games.
This is just such like recency bias, surface level like type of stuff. Like he's not, for a fact he's not going to cover any of the smaller stuff and like why those games don't get an audience, because well, that would involve doing research past what I initially know, and I don't want to do that. That's just the vibe I get from it.
Like, I don't expect every single person to go and be like us, where we try our best in order to look at smaller platform fighters and hope and pray for the future. That's what we're here for. I don't like the emotional thing when it's like, and the argument of like companies were just trying to drain me out of my money. Because like, I'm gonna be honest, even when it comes to NASB 1, I didn't really think about that. It was just like a company, they tried their best, they didn't have enough time, they made something that was probably not as good as it can be, and they tried to exemplify it in the second game. The only argument that I would see it is for like multiverses maybe, but I just don't like this argument where it's like, yeah, fucking Birdman poses, fucking swiping their hands and thinking about all this cash, when like a lot of them probably really didn't. They just wanted to make a game, and just flanderizing them is just weird.
Yeah, say this towards the corporate heads who just wanted to see an easy paycheck and not the actual developers. Like, my biggest gripe with this is just, again, multiverses, NASB, and Rivals. It's the same shit everyone talks about. Like, you're not heading towards uncharted territory. You're not saying anything that hasn't already been said. Like, why should I watch this video? That's just kind of my frustration with it.
There's a lot of videos like this, and they all feel like half-assed glances.
Yeah, like when was this video made? 4 days ago, and it's currently like October 2024. You're not saying anything new.
I wonder if he knows anything about Combo Devils.
I don't even think he talks about Combo Devils or anything like that.
I just think he knows about Rivals 2.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the only
just,
one he has his eyes on.
That's why I call this a casual video. Because your average casual gamer doesn't know like what Combo Devils is or anything like that, unless they got someone who plays a lot of platform fighters in that kind of sense that we do. But
like, I get it, and I can already hear the comment section. It's like, oh, you guys are being weird, stop gatekeeping and shit like that. But it's just like, I don't know.
Context, blah blah blah.
He doesn't understand.
It's also making a thing look more villainous than what it really is. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's painting it in a bad light. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
gaslighting people into thinking something.
Yeah, exactly. So like, before anyone gets on the fucking keyboards, at least we said it now.
Please, like, Kazoo Cat, after you watch this video, and just tell us your thoughts on it, because I would love to genuinely have an in-depth conversation with you about this type of stuff. But yes, a lot of what you're saying is insanely surface level. Like,
that might be a long thread in the comments.
Anyway.
I mean, we have tons of popular characters. How could this not be lucrative? Well, there is a major issue with their approach right out the gate.
Nice approach.
Every major platform fighter recently spawned from the desire to give the competitive Melee fans more Melee.
This is the biggest fucking part. This is the main idea of the video that I fucking hate so much. Because this is not true, okay? He's gonna talk about it through Wavedashing and shit like that, but basically, no. Most times when a platform fighter is made, it's usually not until recent events where literally someone wants to do reskinned Melee. But seriously, and we'll get to that later, but literally, most platform fighters that have ever existed has never been for the sole thing of a competitive series. Rivals was not made as a competitor. It was literally just someone that really liked platform fighters and wanted to do their own spin to it. And the only reason why they don't have shields and ledges and shit like that was because they were a small company and they didn't want to fucking put the time and effort into it and decided to put it in other things.
Less character states, less animations. It's easier to develop.
Yeah, and
when you say don't want to put in the time, that makes them look lazy, but I know what you mean.
You gotta cut corners somehow.
Yeah, like, most platform fighters are really not made for the competitive community, and I don't know who needs to hear this in the back, but I'll say it again. Most platform fighters were not made for the competitive community, even Melee players in general.
Still have competitive stuff.
Well, I actually do have something to say about that, but I'll wait till he actually brings it up in the argument.
And also, Rivals, I believe, was the first platform fighter to have competitive integrity, whatever it's called, in its game design.
But you look at Slap City, that game like had a lot more going for it aside from that, and I think that was the intention at first. I could be wrong, but
This will be an argument for later in the video, but I will say this. Not even wave dashing is built for the melee crowd, and I will explain why later.
We don't need wave dashing. We put it in because it's cool. Why is that? It's not that difficult.
Wow, I don't even have to say it. You literally just said it for me.
But having wave dashing makes your game good.
It's like you put it in because you think it's good. You don't have it in. Oh well, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue forward.
Which, first off, I don't even know if they really need that. It kind of just seems like people who are still playing Melee are just gonna keep playing Melee.
No, that's true. A lot of people.
Yeah,
still
I
do.
agree.
But regardless, while these games aren't necessarily bad, I think the decision to make games like Multiverses and Nick All-Star happened without them really realizing who their intended audience actually was. If your goal was to absorb mass amounts of wealth from the competitive Melee crowd...
Great game.
What do you mean great game? What is that?
Wario World. This is a really good game.
That's a game?
I
thought that was like an animated GIF that someone
No,
made.
it's 3D Wario Land.
I did not know that.
It's a really fun game, but nobody talks about it because I don't know.
A good amount of people talked about it.
That reminds me of 3D Pac-Man. It's a good game, but no one talks about it usually.
I like it. I've been playing it recently.
We shall talk about this later.
Anyway, I'll stop because because it keeps interrupting stuff. Why do I keep stuttering? Why don't I talk good all the time?
Then I believe you've been misinformed. Even if you managed to pry that target audience away from Smash, Melee was nowhere near the most successful Smash Bros. Game.
Melee was on the GameCube. Ultimate was on the Switch.
I don't really get this argument saying like Melee wasn't that big. Okay, yeah, Melee was on a not very like well-sold console. Plus, I think the fact that people continue to keep playing it even past the point of Brawl and Smash 4 is proof that there still is a decent audience for it.
I didn't know Smash 4 outsold Brawl. Wow.
Oh yeah. I knew that. I think the argument is supposed to be that because you see mostly Melee today for its competitive aspect, and because you see mostly Ultimate for its non-competitive aspect, that you shouldn't be looking at Melee as your influence. You should be looking at Ultimate, which could be an argument, but it has a few counters that I'll talk about later. But that's what I think they were going with for me.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And there are some elements I would agree though, but like. There's like most people when they think of Ultimate, they think of its scope, and there's no way you're recreating that.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's continue.
No one is talking about killing Call of Duty. You just make a Titanfall. I'm just saying.
And you're looking at only a small portion of that audience that already was a small portion of the greater Smash Bros. Fan base. On the other hand, wave dashing is often added to most of these platform fighters, just to really get those Melayers on board. For the most part, this is just an extra layer of complexity that only competitive players will bother using, so I suppose it doesn't hurt.
Why would it hurt?
Why?
Why would it hurt to begin with? I don't get it. It's not even much to program in, so...
Do casuals really hate wave dashing as much as people say they do?
They don't hate wave dashing on its own. They just don't... They don't hate it, they just hate, like, the association around it.
When it comes to other newer platform fighters, they usually make wave dashing, like, easy as hell. So I wonder if casuals can wave dash. Not because I'm trying to be flexing gamer muscles, but legitimately can casual players wave dash? So if they can, or if they can't,
how, and they probably could.
It's very easy in some games.
Well, here's my second point, and I think I understand this point. I think wave dashing itself can be unintuitive. You know that Rivals mechanic where like you hit someone and then you fast fall? What is that called again?
Hit falling.
Okay, so for hit falling, right? That thing can be in a game and people will do it and unconsciously know that they're doing it. Something is happening, they can't put it into words, but something is happening, and it doesn't require a lot. It's ingenuity to hit someone and then want to fast fall, right? So
It's
you have this,
naturally.
yeah, you have this mechanic that doesn't need setup. You don't need to teach someone, essentially. You can notice that it's there. For wave dashing in general, I can feel for casual players, because it's like you jump, then you wave dash down for some reason. It would be something like again, in multiverses, like you can drop down, you can slowly drop down or hard slam down, right? And that's ingenuity, because that makes sense for like physics and how the game feel would be. But wave dashing in general doesn't do that for like normal players, and the fact that you have to get taught on it sometimes can feel a little, maybe not aggravating, but it feels like that there should be something that like makes sense, like how Rivals does it, you know. So I understand how like wave dashing can be this thing that's very weird, because honestly, and it sounds bad, but I think it is unintuitive. Now I think personally you should just do it how Framemakers does it. Framemakers does it where you can just wave dash with a button. So like make that be like, just make it a dedicated button, I guess. That way, like when people say, "Hey, hit the wave dash button and go into the direction you want," it's like that's it. There's nothing you really gotta do, and casuals can do it, and it doesn't feel like it's gatekeeping. You know what I mean? I understand how it feels unintuitive and how it can be like very sweaty, especially since it's not as good as, or it's not as dedicated as the Rivals mechanic. And I think overall, I know we're nerds about it, but I do feel casuals in that department. So yeah.
I think, yeah, overall what I'm getting from this is hit falling is an input that's going to come naturally, and its intended effect and reward is a lot more clear to the player compared to wave dashing, where the intended reward or use cases, it takes way more experience and knowledge of the game to see the value behind that. I see what you mean.
Once again, wave dashing is just one piece of the pie, not the entire dish.
But look, if I'm being honest, I don't see any reason to have wave dashing in most of these games. The reason wave dashing is good and fun in Melee is because it's a fast burst movement option in an otherwise slow game.
Who is calling Melee slow? That is such a weird point.
If you just start playing Melee, you would think it was slow, but
yeah,
like the Big Iron Podcast said, it's like a car. You just go faster as when you keep on playing it more, and it keeps on getting faster as you get better at it.
Yeah, you get better, like with the L cancel, you start implementing fast falling more, though. You get a hold of the dash dancing system. It's like, this, okay, like, again, made by a casual. That's what this video was made by.
To add on to this point, David V. Kimball, the guy that made a platform fighter, I keep forgetting names today. He explains it well, where it's like the clunkiness in Melee versus Ultimate. So that's why someone would say that Melee is slower compared to Ultimate, even though with certain pins and needles you could make Melee a very fast game. So I feel like it's fine to call Melee slow. You just need context for it, and David V. Kimball's, I feel like, explains it very well. So I'm not gonna hold that against them.
But it's incredibly unintuitive and overall weird as an intentional feature.
Wave dashing was an intentional feature.
If you want a global movement option like that, there's way better ways to do it than to intentionally force players to learn how to do a tiny jump and then a diagonal air dash.
That's an air dodge, nerd moment, but it's an air dodge. Yeah, go ahead.
You see what I mean? Like, this would be different if it was an air dash, because everyone knows what an air dash is supposed to be. And I feel like if most platform fighters started off with air dashes rather than like the wave land, like it would feel a lot better for like casuals, because they can understand why this is used and things like that, and it's intuitive. So like, I understand it. I just don't like the negativity brought from it. That's just me personally.
It feels like a bad faith argument, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, he just doesn't get it though, and just figures it's like people blow it up out of proportions. Like, he got lost in the hype and assumed this is how people actually feel.
People just like wave dashing. It just feels good. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be because I'm a sweat lord. I just want to feel nice in my games. That's really it.
I kind of view it the same way as people treat like the long jump in Mario 64.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
it's just a fun movement option.
Mm-hmm. Your game doesn't need it, but hey, it's a nice element that boosts the fun factor.
Into the ground to get a short burst of movement from sliding along. Like, I feel as if that design decision is just trying to match competitive melee exactly, rather than officializing any of the fancy melee techniques in a way that works better as an intentional feature.
Having wave dashing does not automatically make your game melee. Multiverses recently add that in, and that game is still leagues different from melee.
Yeah, it's nothing like melee.
I really hate this. It makes your game feel like melee, because that just means to me that you don't know what melee is. Melee is not just I wave dash very fast and I do fast combos. Like, that's not just melee. If you think that is, then you just think that all platform fighters are just melee. So, like, that's my personal opinion.
I'm sorry, Zucat, but you do not know your koalas when it comes to this subject.
But on that topic, I feel like the focus on competitive melee specifically also has the side effect of kinda distracting companies from making the game fun in the first place.
I think there is at least a little bit of substance behind this argument, because some platform fighters I do think did kind of focus on this a little more than they should have. That being said, I would say Icon's Comment Arena was one of those cases. Shoot. Can I say Rushdown? You know what? I think people might hate me if I say Rushdown.
I love that game. I will agree if you put Rushdown in that category.
I kind of want to say Nasby won, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I think they also did have intention of making the games enjoyable, but they did overvalue the competitive aspect just a little much, though. Multiverses, I can at least say, did make an admirable attempt at still trying to make the game fun. I mean, you know, your mileage may vary on that whole discussion. Multiverses is a hodgepodge topic. But I would say that, like, since that game was made by more experienced developers, they did prioritize that aspect more.
One of the weirdest things I've observed about all these platform fighters is that they all got rid of grabs, shields, ledges, and items.
What the fuck are we talking about?
This is such a weird-ass argument.
All of them. So he just categorizes Rivals 1 and Multiverses.
He talks about this in the future, but Rivals doesn't have most of these. But you like it? Why even bring it up? Also, there's only 2 platform fighters that are mainstream that fit this bill.
And Brawlhalla.
And most other platform fighters, most other platform fighters have 3 of these. They don't have items most of the time, but they have the rest of these.
The only argument I'll give you is items, and the only reason why I expect no items and things like that is only because it's hard-ass work, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I'll say my take on items later, but...
Yeah. We'll save that for later. I'm just saying, like, the reason why that they're not here is not because people hate fun and they only want competitive scene. It's because that shit is work.
Yeah, it's a lot more character states, a lot more animations, a lot more spriting, modeling, a lot more debugging, a lot more just ensuring it works. Tell me you do not understand the prospects of game design without saying you don't understand the prospects of game development.
Well, except for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That one still has ledges.
What? It has grabs! It has blocking!
And grabs, and it's the first one, and even items.
It doesn't have items, yeah. What are you talking about?
It doesn't have shields, but it has blocking.
Yeah, it's close enough. Like, oh my god. Ugh.
But every other major non-Smash platform fighter got rid of all 4 of those elements. I'm not saying that things like that can't or shouldn't be tweaked, but it is a very competitive focused viewpoint to remove them.
It's not! It's not, though! Most of the reasons of why they are gone is because it takes a lot of work. Again, Rivals was this way. It
You
wasn't
could've
here
spent your
because...
development time on anything else.
Yeah, it wasn't here because Dan was like, fuck them people. It was like, no, it was because it required a lot of work. It's just a lot of effort. That's really it. I hate that this argument is like, it's because competitive side. It's like, no, man, this is a lot of effort and work. That's why. That's literally the only thing. Stop blaming the competitive scene. It's not doing anything for you. They didn't do anything to you.
You're going after the wrong people when it comes to this subject. And besides, a few games not having these aspects is not the end of it. These games can still be very fun. Case in point, Rivals 1. Oh my god.
In competitive Smash, shielding and grabs are a fun middle ground of being completely worthless or being so overpowered that it's annoying.
Wait, what was that argument?
In competitive Smash, shielding and grabs are a fun middle ground of being completely worthless or being so overpowered that it's annoying.
What are you talking about?
When are
What
shields
are you
and grabs
talking about?
completely worthless?
Yes, in my Street Fighter, fucking blocking is an overpowered mechanic, I see. Fucking putting that man into the corner, jumping up and grabbing him. Yeah, that's... No, they're just things that you can use against the opponent. It doesn't have anything... Like, if you made a... Like, let's say you made a single-player fighting game-like game, and you added shields, and you added breaks, right? Is it now competitive for the fact that you just have shields and grabs? No, it's just something you use in the game in order to progress the state. It has nothing to do with the competitive side. Yeah, we're getting to the point where, oh wow, shields and ledges and grabs are now competitive things. And it's like, what are we doing?
We're 5 minutes into this video and we found multiple things to like, oh my lord.
This
is such a weird point. You're complaining about the imbalance behind these mechanics. Who complains about shields in Melee unless it's like Game & Watch or DK? Who complains about grab unless it's marked or chain grabbing, which by the way, you can still SDI and get around. This ain't Brawl where a lot of times it's lights out. GG, suck it, nerd.
Okay. So what we have to do is that he's not really complaining the fact... Okay, so that's maybe where we went off. He's not complaining for the fact that these things are competitive, but it's that the competitive mindset would make these moves to be competitive, so we got rid of them. But that's not the argument.
No.
The reason why they're gone is because making games is hard. It's not so that they could get sweats. That's just me.
Getting rid of them or having them does not inherently make your game competitive. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I can't believe running. They added running. That's such a competitive mechanic. They should remove running.
Wait till he sees Cross Impact. Anyway.
Don't show him Cross Impact.
Anyway.
I'm just thinking of the crying seagull, and just the words, he was forced to play Cross Impact.
I think that reminds me of what you said to fucking Garfield. You're going to Lego Brawls. It's just like, you're going to Cross Impact.
Sonic Punch, you're going to Cross Impact.
Markiplier Punch, you're going to Cross Impact.
Anyway, but moving on.
So it makes sense to remove them and bypass having to deal with all that. However, in casual play, they're perfectly fine mechanics.
What? They're perfectly fine and competitive.
And removing them forces you into a gameplay of constant aggression with no defensive options, which is insanely punishing to casual fans who won't have the reflexes or knowledge of how to deal with any big attacks any other way.
Yeah, it can be. It can be a little alienating though, making evasion or like rolling your primary like defensive mechanic. Sure, it's part of the reason why some people didn't get into Rivals 1, but it's not the end of the world.
Even then, they weren't removed because of competitive scene. They were just removed because of time and effort allotted to what they needed to do. That's it. Again, we're just blaming competitive scene for nothing.
okay, I might be going out on a limb with this quote, but this very much gives me the vibes of people who genuinely believe serious game criticism is comparing a game with their imaginary version that had perfect execution with zero setbacks, all while staying on schedule and under budget. Be creeping to that mindset, though. Maybe I'm full of shit, but that's the vibes I'm getting.
Let me put it to you like this. Star Wars Battlefront 2, that thing that was on the PS2, that was made in a year on crunch time. And that was a great game. So that fucking means a lot, because it's like that shit affects games, you know. If they didn't have
it's amazing how many great games were made in like a year back then.
Yeah. So that just means more to anything that it's like things are done usually not because of a competitive scene and because of just time, effort, and energy allotted. That's it.
Yes. Anyway.
And grabs are great against someone who's over-relying on shields. Of course, in competitive play, you'll ideally know how to deal with someone spamming attacks in other ways, and you'll likely never overcommit to a big attack. So shields are unnecessary, and since there's no shields, grabs are unnecessary as well.
No.
Sure, you can believe that.
So I'm not saying it doesn't make sense to remove these options, but I am saying that I think the harm to competitive play of having them in is negligible compared to the harm to casual play of removing them.
I'm sorry, sir. We can't add cool shit in this game. Why? Well, because we need the melee pet players, dog. So we can't put this shit in.
And we've magically thought of in our minds that they don't like shields and grabs.
My friend who played this, though, said this. That's my source.
I got annoyed at chain grabs. They're removed.
Chain grab. Oh my god. Chain grab is a completely different discussion, though. Like,
yeah,
if he said like something like chain grab, then okay, like there is something to at least talk about. But you know.
Yeah, no one's gonna piss in my cereal if they fucking said, yeah, don't fucking add chain grabs to the game, please. No one's gonna piss in the cereal.
Yeah.
As for removing items, I'm sure you can see how the exact same argument applies. Like, yeah, I'd say a good 50% or so of total Smash players almost always play with items off. And obviously competitive Smash players would die at the mere suggestion of there being any amount of randomness in their pure test of skill.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be a joke, and this is just negativity and wrongness disguised as a joke. It's like, first of all, fuck you. I hate Hero, but that's because of other shit. It's not just also because of the randomness, okay? It's it's not because I hate randomness in general that I fucking hate Hero. So like that's just reducing the argument down. But also, I'm just fucking saying, man, it's not because we hate casual players with a fucking purpose. No, it's because adding these items, adding these things, it takes time, effort, and energy. Some things that a lot of people just didn't have, and which makes it very weird, especially when you want to just make a platform fighter. You know, if you want to just be simple and make a platform fighter, you can't do that anymore because guess what? You need items in there, which requires time. Not everyone can be like Sakurai, where you're already at Nintendo, you're already revered, you already get your resources, and it just gets bigger every single time, you know? So it's just reducing the argument to make it seem like, oh damn, we're just fucking snooty ass bitches. It's like, no, it's just reductive. It's just reductive.
Can I have my take on items?
Sure.
Okay. Well, it is nice to have items as an option. Not every platform fighter needs it. Because yes, it's a lot of work. You have to make like a bat animation for every character, a gun animation for every character. It is a lot of work, and there is other ways you can make casual content for casuals that are not items. Casuals likes more stuff than just items. And also, big appeal of the items in Smash series is the crossover appeal. If your game doesn't have that crossover appeal, then there isn't that much of a need for items. But that's my take.
Honestly, the dismissive tone of his voice and the way he worded it very much reminds me of that Donkey meme of, if I get backlash, then my statement was a joke. If I didn't get backlash, my statement was valid criticism. That's the vibe I got from that.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Me, fuck that. My shit is real, and if it is a joke, it is also criticism. Fuck that. I'm putting my nuts on the table with that one.
So I'm calling you out on your bullshit.
But that still leaves a solid chunk of fans that enjoy items, all of which would be casual players, and there's literally zero harm in including items as long as competitive players still have the ability to turn them off.
There's zero harm. What about the mental health of my programmers?
What about the time I'm sinking into making items instead of sinking my development time into anything else? That could appeal to casuals as well.
Game development is a series of trade-offs. And if you want to add all of the stuff, if you want to have your cake and eat it, you got to invest time and resources to it, bub.
Yeah, like some of us cannot make a single player mode and items, right? Some platform fighters just want to make single player modes, and we can't really add items and all these fucking characters if we do that. And that's understandable. I'll take what I could get. That's quality. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to the bigger issue, but I have a feeling this guy doesn't really get the bigger issue. But anyway, moving on.
Then removing ledges is... I don't know. That one's just kind of neutral to me. Like, you could argue it's more complicated for casual players to recover by doing up special, wall jump, air dodge, up special again, instead of just grabbing the ledge, but also ledge camping is a huge issue. Even in Smash Ultimate, where you lose all invincibility from ledges if you grab them too much, you can still Ridley it up from off stage, so I don't know.
Okay, well, not a huge point though, but like, ledge camping or planking or whatever in Ultimate is generally not agreed to be a good strategy. Unless it's against Steve, which we've talked about has been a massive, massive headache for people regarding that game. But aside from him, yeah, generally it's not that great of a strategy. It's very much just something you just gotta... Once you figure it out, though, you'll be fine against it most of the time.
I also want to say I do like ledges. I do like the mind games of ledge get-ups and ledge traps and all that. And I do think that's kind of devaluing ledges. There is other depth you can add to ledges, but I do already like the mind games that ledges bring to the table.
What was that game I played with the developer again, guys? What was that? Blindsight, yeah. The reason why I'm reminded of it is because in Blindsight, I believe if you attack it with the button, that you actually like get an animation where you hit people off a ledge.
Oh yeah, it was their solution to ledge hogging. Yeah, if someone else tries to grab the ledge while you're on it, you just swat them off.
Yeah, I think that's very funny.
But I don't even think he's going to talk about the dynamic behind ledge hogging or ledge trumping, in which case that would have been a perfect opportunity to bring that up. But I mean,
I don't think he really cares or knows about that dynamic.
Yeah, that just kind of shows you how out of touch he is with this subject. I'm going to say it right now.
I mean, we've already been like...
Am I out of touch? No, it's the competitors that are wrong.
I mean, I don't want to be too negative on this. So, like, this point is not too bad, especially if you don't play it like we do, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, as a general overview, yes. Especially in, like, even the casual matches where, like, some people just don't like items and they just want to play against other people. Like, I can see how even ledges and other type of games can be very, very opinionated with that. I understand. So I'm not going to harp on it too much. I understand where he's coming from. So, yeah.
It's not a huge point, but I don't know, just felt like bringing that up. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's neat to have the variety between platform fighters with ledges and those without, so I'm not gonna say that it's strictly a bad design decision.
But it's not okay to have wave dashing or not include items.
Well, we've already talked about how wave dashing is uninteractive and items is just work time and effort.
Oh my god. But anyway, like, sorry, I keep like stopping, but let's just hear him fully out.
Yep.
On the other hand, most of the stages in these games are simple and follow the classic competitive Smash template of no walls, no walk-offs, no hazards, not too small, not too big, Definitely no slopes. Basically, if your stage isn't Battlefield with the platforms in a slightly different position, your stage isn't legal. Unless you're Rainbow Ride in the heyday of competitive Melee, it still shocks me that that stage was legal. I barely even consider it legal for casual play. Those falling blocks are an OSHA violation.
Oh god, if only Emcee was here. Okay, so I'll give my take on this. I don't fully disagree with what he's saying right here. We made an entire video about how competitive stages have gotten too sanitized and boring in a lot of areas. So yes, just a little bit extra like elements of terrain mastery would very much be appreciated. But I did also bring up in that video is that another big reason why they stick to this incredibly simplistic design is, again, it's easier to develop. So I don't fault them too much for it.
I mostly agree, but I do want to bring out that this does kind of feel like downplaying the 3 games or series he's talking about in this video, especially since Multiverses is one of them.
Like, oh, definitely. Like, Multiverses has like walls in competitive stage list as well. So yeah, you're definitely like.
To be fair, is a lot less fun now because they took away a lot of the stage's gimmicks.
Boo! Boo!
Rick and Morty stage no longer has walls.
Why? Who cares? Deal with it. It's a counter pick stage. Whatever. Deal with it. It's not busted. You don't get impotence off of it. Go ahead.
That green ass monkey Mojo Jojo is hitting me with the blicky. I don't care.
Well, to be fair, they did make a good Hazards Off version of that stage.
Kazucat, I know we're being bad right now, but if you bro, I know you're looking for Rivals 2 right now, but if you're also looking, bro, and you want good stage design, take a look at fucking Combo Devils, dog. Take a look at Combo Devils, dog. That you'll get exactly what you fucking want, if I'm gonna be real honest with you.
They have walls. I believe they have slopes, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
Slopes, I don't know. Walls, definitely. You can wall bounce people.
I don't know there's a way to legalize walk-offs. There might be a way underneath a new system, but none we've seen so far, so
we might
don't
need
expect
a
that.
King of Fighters it up.
Maybe. But anyway, back to the video. Actually, wait, Multiverses, some of its stages has walk-offs. Oh wait, it's probably not in rank. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, remove the walls in the Game of Thrones stage.
Alright.
But to developers, there's no reason to make these higher effort, complicated stages if competitive players aren't going to use them.
Make All-Star has casual stages.
Has items, and then that is the case in the sequel as well. It has an entire roguelike mode. It has boss battles. It has multiple side games.
You know what? You know what's funny You know what's funny about PlayStation All Stars?
What?
Most of the stages switch.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a cool gimmick. But people hate stage bosses, so oh well.
Well,
Yeah.
MC doesn't in his videos doing numbers right now.
As somebody
Wait.
who has no idea what the current conversational topic is about, I completely agree with
We were doing
MGG.
a video!
I agree with MGG. I believe in MGG. Whatever he's saying is the God-written gospel of this current topic, and you would be a fool to doubt anything he has to say.
That
So
was
Melee
so
has a
fucking
bad stage
scary.
list, and it's awful, and you're awful if you like it.
I think Emcee is Beetlejuice.
We were just talking about your video doing numbers, and then you just fucking appeared in the ether,
Dude,
in the rivals of Aether.
watch your fucking back is all I'm saying.
Never talk shit ever.
Ever. I'm always listening. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I am in your walls.
That was actually fucking scary.
Good.
But now that you're here, congratulations, man. That shit's at 4.4K. Hell yeah.
Yeah, good job on that. I need to finish that video, but good job on it.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it was funny. Even my mom liked it. And she has no idea what the fuck a Rivals of Aether is.
Well, that's because that's one thing I wish I could do as well as you guys. You do comedy very well. I'm very bad at it.
That's okay. Jesus still loves you.
It's funny you popped up around here. We were literally talking about stage lists.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That was it. I just wanted to agree with whatever MGG was saying.
That's
Oh,
fine.
thank you that we don't have to hate each other because we disagree on video game opinions.
Oh, well, don't worry. I mean, like, tomorrow my opinions will change, but today for now.
What are you, Twitter? Get the fuck out of here, dog.
No, I just kind of like roll a d20 to like figure out what my opinion is today on
You
any given subject.
roll a d20. What your personality is today?
Pretty much. Like, oh, do I hate Smash Bros today? Oh, that's a 20. I guess I hate Smash Bros today.
Evens odds.
That's pretty much what I do.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
This is it going into video software.
No, it is. It's genuinely funny.
Hey, software.
Was good.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Dad.
Dead who?
Well,
Walked right into that.
I knew he was gonna do something like that.
That was like fucking someone stepping on the fucking thing that rakes the leaves, and it fucking hit you square in the face.
He got Sideshow bobbed.
Yeah, I was thinking of Sideshow Bob. I just forgot his name.
Anyway, what the hell was he talking about? Stages? Oh yeah, competitiveness. That's what he was talking about.
And for that matter, there's no need to make extra game modes either if the main competitive mode is the only important one. Except there obviously is a reason. Casual fun. And look, it's fine to appeal to purely competitive players. The vast majority of fighting games are built to appeal to fighting game fans. But the issue here is that these games, like Multiverses and Nick All-Star, shouldn't be appealing to competitive players.
That's another sign that he didn't pay attention to any other platform fighters.
And also, you can appeal to both casual and competitive in the same game.
I agree.
Yeah. And besides, Rivals of Aether has like 2 guest characters. It's not a crossover game. Oh my god.
By design, crossovers are supposed to appeal broadly to fans of all the characters that the crossover contains. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the Venn diagram of fans of the Loud House and competitive Smash Bros. Players does not have a lot of overlap.
But you can make fans that are fans of both of them.
Yeah.
Hey, can you pause it? Hey, yo, Marvel vs. Capcom fans, get the fuck out of the room, man. You don't deserve anything. You're weird. I don't like you, and I'm fucking your mom.
Go back to your comic books.
This is such a bad argument. I can say that to any of the fighting game fans. Most fighting game fans are casuals, and they are fine with shit like that happening in games. Why are you complaining about this? It's weird.
DBZ fighter players, you don't exist.
Yeah, like for real.
Oh my
Go back a
god.
bit. And let's hear him out.
Who is saying this? Like, where did he get? Oh my goodness.
You need to not only give casual options for people to have fun with, but you need that to be the main focus since that's your target demographic, which is exactly what Smash Bros. Already figured out. But that's all very biased opinions coming out of the Kazoo Cat corner. Let's turn it over to objective analysis to... Wait. Gah, these are biased opinions too.
Yep, we're not getting it. We're not getting it.
Oh well.
Oh, this.
I forgot about this part.
I love Rivals of Aether.
Even though it has no shields, or ledges, or grabs, or items, and it has wave dashing, but I love Rivals of Aether.
What? This feels hypocritical.
He'll talk about it, but like he'll just brush it off.
Yeah, still not breaking new ground, even if the ground is slightly more obscure. But if you know anything about Rivals, you'll probably know that it was made to appeal to competitive melee players, removed grabs, shields, ledges, and items, and officially added wave dashing, which is all the things I said you shouldn't do.
Why should you not do it? You
It's
didn't give us a good
even
reason why.
It wasn't made for comparison.
Why is that bad? You didn't explain why it was bad. You are bad, Kazoo Cat.
I'm just imagining the Garfield panel where he gets thrown out the window.
It does have some fun stage variety and extra game modes that were added later, and while I'd gladly take those as an excuse for my hypocrisy, I'd actually say it's the quality of Rivals' moveset design that makes me like it so much. The way I see it, there's 2 key elements that make Smash Bros. Movesets so fun, unless you count Sakurai magic, but I can't exactly critically analyze that one, so let's just stick with 2.
There's a lot of factors towards what makes a satisfying fighting game character.
Sakurai.
Montage.
There's a lot of elements that go into it, though. I could go on for, honestly, the next hour or so. But case in point, does the character feel good to play as? Does it feel good to move as them? Does it feel good to land hits as them? Like, there's a lot that goes behind it.
It's way more than just two.
Way more. Do they have good sound design? Do they stick well behind the design that you can either pick up or that was told to you behind it? If it's a character if it's an adaptation of an existing character, do they feel like the character? Do they properly give you the impression you're playing as them? And hell, if they manage to even add more to the character, even better. So there's way more behind that, but I know he's skipping past that.
It's gonna be the weirdest thing when he gives us these two reasons. Reptar from Nasby 2 doesn't fit in these two reasons, yet we know that man is a great design and a great character. It's gonna be so fucking weird, dude.
We're gonna talk about that.
I fucking hope so.
I also forgot to mention Polish, but again, he's not gonna talk about it.
The first of which is Intuitifness. How easy is it to understand a new character?
Wait. Intuitiveness? How easy is it to understand a character?
I've actually seen this I've seen this one before. He's gonna explain it.
All right, I'll shut up. My fault.
An obvious example of this intuitive moveset design is the consistency of directional attacks. If you pick up a new character and get knocked off the stage, it's a pretty safe bet that using your up special while going towards ledge is gonna make you recover. But outside of that, there's even specific patterns like how nearly all counters in Smash Bros are on down B. Nearly all counters.
Characters can't be different.
Same with how neutral B is nearly always your character's projectile. Again, nearly always.
That's an item pull. There are usually on-down specials.
I see Hate Peach.
Even within one character's moveset, there's enough consistency to be intuitive. For example, Steve's down tilt has this unexpected property where his fire has gravity and can fall off of ledges to catch people trying to recover. However, this property is shared with his down smash where the lava can similarly fall off of ledges, meaning that if you understand that one of the moves does that, it's easier to use both of them. Though the main reason I bring this up is because of multiverses. A big personal gripe I have with multiverses is how all of the movesets have random, literal ability cooldowns.
Not the fan of how you worded that, but I'm sure, whatever, I'll bite. Okay. I'll listen to the full point, but from what I'm remembering, I just think he just does not like how the game is different, which is not really a part of the intuitiveness argument that he presented, but whatever.
There are plenty of Smash characters that are complicated to the point of being obtuse and confusing, but Smash Bros. Knows that. I'll keep using Steve because he's a good example of a complicated character. Even still, his entire moveset revolves around one resource bar, and it's so integral to nearly every move in his kit that it just becomes his identity rather than Steve becoming a list of 1,000 unique bars and mechanics you have to remember whenever you're playing as or against him.
I get the point he's trying to make there, but there's still a lot that the average competitive player does not really get about Steve, so I don't think that was the greatest example, but whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I think of Superman, where it's like, he has this state where he has super armor, but he also has this ice breath that also freezes. And if you're an average person, sometimes you just want to play, and it's not really as it's not as consistent as I would say Fire from Zetaburn, where it's like almost every single special you'll use puts fire on things, and then at some point in time you'll probably use a smash attack. So you understand because of that simplicity of like, oh, this does this, and this combos with this. And you didn't really need a tutorial in order to say that. So yeah. I understand what he's going with. I just don't like that. Just say the states are not intuitive and not the moves itself. Because, no, side B in multiverses goes horizontally. If you do up B, it's vertically. It's like, no, that the same clarity is here. Just talk about the states. The states.
The issue you have is just the MMO mechanics and needing to study a guide or a list of how they work or what they do, which a lot of people don't disagree with, though. People believe that it is a little complicated. On some characters, it's okay. You freeze someone with Superman's breath, though, a counter comes up. Okay, doing enough, though, an effect will happen. Easy enough to understand.
Yes.
But anyway,
we did talk about like the Harley Quinn mechanic that's not very intuitive and kind of unnecessary, and like the big iron thing.
Mm-hmm. And I did forget to mention this, but like certain things people don't get about Steve. People don't know that Steve's gold forward smash is stronger than the wooden one, even though the rest of his moves don't act like that. People don't know like when you have redstone or not. People don't exactly know what exactly 100% dictates the powered up minecart. Like there's the people don't know like how much resources is used out of like an iron or a minecart. Out of an iron, how many irons are used out of a minecart or an anvil? People don't exactly know what stages will give you what resources or use which tools. Blah 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 blah. There you go. Nerdy stuff out of the way.
Steve still has a lot of problems. A simple one is you can mine 2 diamonds, but you don't. It doesn't say on the HUD that you've mined 2.
Exactly. There's still some clarity issues behind that, even if it's not a horrible concept like in execution-wise.
Yeah, Steve's not the greatest example with clarity.
Yeah.
In contrast, most multiverses characters will have multiple resources to keep track of that each only affect one move in their kit. That means that learning new characters is a whole lot of... When Smash Bros. Has a resource for a single move, it's either something simple enough to understand at a glance, like Banjo's limited uses on his side B, or it'll be something like Rob's spinning top, where it's easy to understand why you can and can't use it because you're limited by a physical, visible object that the character's interacting with. And even when you use a move without the resources needed, your character still does something. The visual feedback and potential punishment of wasting your time doing an action that you don't have resources for is way better than Multiverse's strategy of just having a little buzzer sound telling you that you suck and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Who is thinking that last part? My God.
Yeah, he did bring up that Smash does have cooldowns. A good example is like Warrior's Bike, that it does have a cooldown. You can't use it all the time, but why is it okay for Smash to have cooldowns but not multiverses? What's his point?
I think this I actually understand. This I actually understand because it's like it doesn't really because when Wario does it, he does like a what the fuck type of face, and then you get punished for it usually. Like, that's a reaction, it's very funny, it's very goofy, and it makes you understand, like, oh shit, this is here. In Multiverses, I guess the reason why is because it doesn't feel as natural. Like, it would be a lot more funny and it'd be a lot more clear if Tom, like, maybe screamed because he didn't have tennis balls.
He reached out to his pocket and then nothing comes out of it, and then he just...
something like that.
It just sounds and looks better compared to the buzzer sound. So like that I'll understand. That I get.
That's understandable.
I get that point. My retort behind that though is that's yet again more animation work behind that. And 2, Multiverse's solution, even if it's not the most attractive one, does clarify when you can't use an action. Whereas in certain other games, you get nothing. You press the button, nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? At least the buzzer showcases to you, as well as the HUD, like enlarging, oh, I can't use that. That's still information communicated to the player.
Not to make us look dumb, but MGG just pulled a me with that quote. He said, A, and then 2. He said, point A, point 2.
I did say that? Oh, damn.
You pulled a me, because I've done that way too many times before. Oh, that's funny.
Also, I forgot to mention, but some characters, even if they're out of ammo or whatever on cooldown, some of their specials still do stuff. Bugs Bunny's side B or up B. Taz's up B. Stuff
he
like
does
that.
Mention this right now, so he's mainly mentioning it's inconsistent. Some characters have it, some characters don't.
Okay, my bad there.
I do understand the gripes with cooldowns. I definitely think a lot of moves that have cooldowns definitely need it, but there are some that definitely feel like they're either on cooldown for way too long or they rely on cooldown too much. I do suggest the idea of like some characters, if they hit the opponent, the cooldown should like decrease. It should be faster if you hit the opponent, but that's just a suggestion.
No, yeah, I agree with that as well. And I definitely am of the opinion that like every move should still have a use, even if it's on cooldown. Though I think that's a much healthier design.
I do feel like some people treat cooldowns as like a lazy way to balance. Like Wonder Woman's lasso had a cooldown and then it didn't. So
Yeah.
they are sometimes inconsistent on what they want to make on a cooldown.
Exactly. There's certain things like Wonder Woman shield, like install buff though, like that makes sense to have a cooldown. Same with Jason's neutral be rage. But in some cases, yeah, it did feel like a crutch. So I get it there.
I think
You
it's
can
also
overuse it.
because I think it's also just because of the design aspects you kind of miss if you have cooldown. Like for example, like Samus's charge, you know, like you're supposed to charge it to get a bigger ball, which makes basically a playstyle. So like you actually want to just hit and run at the opponent in order to charge this ball. You don't really get that if you had a cooldown, because if you had a cooldown, you would just have a big ball and then you just have it and then you just wait for time. It creates this sort of weird, some things are lost when you do this sort of system. Doesn't mean the system is bad. We just got to admit that some things are lost when you do this. So that's also a thing.
Agreed, yeah. I just remember Shulk's down special, the active frame for like when the counter will trigger also has a cooldown. That one actually isn't explained to the player well at all, I would say. But
I didn't know that. Well,
I completely forgot. Yeah,
talking about cooldowns and Shulk, his Monado art. Those definitely deserve a cooldown.
Except sometimes Multiverses decides that you can do something, it's just an entirely different move. If you really want to limit a strong move to be used less often, make it slower to use or give it a charge. I think the most egregious thing Smash Bros. Does is have moves put you in special fall.
I don't agree, but whatever.
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
I was gonna say, yeah, I get why they do it though, but I just hate how often it happens as well as how much lag it has in the later games. It just feels a little too restrictive.
Why the fuck can Sora literally twerk on my fucking body with side B and up B, but I do a single side B with Ganondorf and I fucking sink like a rock? Let me side B into up B, you fucking coward.
Well, that's just terrible balance and design, because that move is not even that good in the air, considering the fact that it could be matched instead of and Ganon dies first if he's with an opponent.
Let me do it anyway! He's ass anyway!
Yes, let him do it. It makes tons of sense for it to not put you into special fall, but they're like, no, I died to Ganon side too much. My fault. Move bad. Oh, no, it's still too good. Ganon can't be good at recovering because he lives long, he's heavy, and he kills me at 20% with forward smash.
It does feel like a move they're scared of, so
Sakurai.
that's why they just
Yeah.
Sakurai, give Ganon 2 big swords right now. You bitch.
One wasn't enough. I'm not satisfied.
Anyway, let's move on.
But that has a very clear set of rules, and once you understand that that's a thing, it translates to every other character. But Multiverses is way more inconsistent in how resources work from character to character. In fact, inconsistency's kind of its thing. Some arbitrary attack directions are sometimes chargeable on some characters. Some special moves function entirely differently between the ground and air, and sometimes there's a brand new button to deal with. Oh, and good luck keeping track of all those little cooldown boxes and what they mean for each specific character in the middle of high-energy, bloody combat. So yeah, you should probably try to be more intuitive than that.
There is so much to say behind that last statement. I don't know where to begin, but I'll let you guys go first.
I think it is intuitive to have different moves for the air and ground, personally.
Yeah, that's kind of silly. There is times where you can overdo it. I don't think every character needs every special move to be completely different than their grounded special moves. But when it makes sense, or their grounded special moves wouldn't make sense or would work better if it was just on the ground, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, like, even Smash did it a few times.
Yeah, like, I look at it like Wonder Woman, right? Like, if you're on the ground, you pull out the shield. You can't pull out the shield in your air because you'll just sink like a rock, so she just punches people in the air. It makes perfect sense to me.
I mean, they are similar moves, so it is still kind of intuitive to a new player.
Yeah, but there's also a difference. The punch is stronger, but it doesn't block moves.
It is kind of like Falcon Kick on the ground or Falcon Kick in the air. It's kind of the most similar thing I can compare it to Smash.
Yeah, or Bayonetta's Witch Slide and Afterburner Kick.
Oh yeah.
Heel Slide, that's what it's called.
That is pretty unique for Smash, for her.
And again, this is another factor I was going to bring up, though. What's wrong with a platform fighter having this design decision? If anything, it helps make it more distinct and different in the way, because there's usually more options to look forward to, especially with special moves.
You could say the movesets feel bloated, maybe, but I do think Multiverses, well, they do have smaller movesets, so they kind of need it more, and they usually do it pretty well.
Plus, if you're familiar with other fighting games, large movesets is not exactly uncommon.
Don't get me started on Tekken. I will scream.
Oh my god. But all of that, the point about bringing up whether or not certain attacks can be smash attack charged or not, I mean, I wish it was more of a standard, but at the same time, it makes sense why certain attacks can and certain attacks can't. Like, it wouldn't make sense, like, a quick combo slash or whatever can't be charged. Like, oh well.
Differentiate their tilts and smashes. They both have to serve the same purpose.
Yeah. So, like, I agree. I just recognize that, like, they just made it this way, and I wish it was different, but I'm not gonna be mad about it too much. I do understand them.
And the last point he brought up about, like, oh, good luck keeping track of all these crazy elements in a high energy, chaotic match, and thinking, like, okay, you're showing off doubles, which, yes, Multiverses was catered more towards, but they slowly drifted away from that, and most people genuinely agree it's not exactly a competitive player's preferred way of playing, or hell, even in a casual sense, a lot of people still prefer 1v1s. 2, in a high-energy stakes match.
Do you realize that one of the biggest complaints about Multiverses is the fact that it is not fast-paced? Are you familiar with that? Or is the fact that they said they wanted to cater the game more towards a competitive audience, in a sense, instantly triggered off the melee speed vibes, and melee speed vibes does all things you don't like, therefore bad, therefore it does not work. Oh my god.
To be fair with that point, the default HUD gets all your, like, character information underneath your character and not next to the character's icon. So that is kind of, you need squints to see it, but it's still not very well thought out.
I'm sorry about that software that you might have to edit the volume mixing on that point.
It is actually not as loud as you think. I'm gonna be honest. So, like,
it's perfectly comfortable.
That was actually fine.
But
no, Waffle Man, I don't want to fucking think about shit. I'm just gonna yell at you and not think about shit.
I still appreciate it.
But anyway, moving on.
Though before I delve too far into just making this a review of Multiverses, if I haven't already, let's rope Nick All-Stars back in to talk about the other major element of moveset design that I see causing troubles, the balance of gameplay and references.
Here we go!
Since these games are crossovers, you obviously want the characters to feel like they're actually the same character as whatever they're coming from. However, at the end of the day, you still have to make an actually cohesive moveset for a fighting game character, and that can be hard to balance. For characters who already fight in pretty standard ways, it's easy to just make them fight and call it there. But Squidward doesn't fight. I mean, he fights his inner demons, but I don't know how you turn that into a moveset.
Boo!
So those characters often end up having movesets that feel more like a list of references to random things they've already done before. But hey, this isn't an easy thing to do. I mean, a lot of the original Smash Bros. Cast either feel like, look, that's the thing from the thing, it doesn't really make sense in his moveset or do anything, but it's the thing, or it's a good moveset that just doesn't really feel like the character at all.
This is the time where I put the Arnold Schwarzenegger meme of me and Kazucat fucking dapping up.
Okay. If he was talking about NASB 1, I completely agree. But he's showing NASB 2 footage, and I think he's downplaying the quality of NASB 2 designs.
Yeah,
We're-
I'm gonna be honest. He showed SpongeBob, and that's like the perfect character for that. I don't know what you. I don't know why. I don't know why he would say that. You know, like, like I can't think of a Nasby 2 character. Like maybe Squidward, if I think about it. But like I
I
can't
don't
think
know
of
how to
anything.
feel about Squidward.
Like again, when I think about Nasby 2, I just think about I think about our previous video, but it's the reverse, where it's like SpongeBob is just really good and his references make sense, and like I have no problem. Look at fucking Reptar. Reptar doesn't really, I don't think he breathes fire in his own thing, but he does it here and that's fine.
Yeah, they did do a good job of like revamping everyone's movesets where they all, most of the references make sense for attacks. There are some few duds, but they're still there, but they are a notable step up from top belt.
Yes,
And at the same time, they do still feel like a playstyle the character would have, and are still familiar if you played the first game. So yeah, A+ on character designs for Nasby 2.
I want to have him finish the point because I don't remember if he brings up multiverses.
I don't think so. Also, I want to bring up, I do think using Flood is kind of cherry picking of the original Smash designs. Most of the original Smash designs are put this character in archetype that makes sense. Less so, let's just have references because that's the thing.
No,
Flood
Smash is very good when it comes to this thing. It's the opposite problem with a lot of fans, though. It's the opposite problem a lot of fans say. They say that there's not enough callback.
Yeah, but I do think Flood is kind of cherry picking that. That's the main move people have a problem, which it does kind of feel like a reference.
And I'm not one of those, and I'm not even one of those people.
New game, but
Yeah, don't show him the Mock Rock video. Don't do it.
Honestly, this point is better suited for a lot of fan movesets.
yes,
This is, in terms of like the games we've seen though. Yeah, Nasby 1 was not great when it comes to this area. It wasn't horrible, but there was definitely a lot of cases for like, okay, Lucy pulls out her tarot card and her diary. Yeah, that's definitely how she would battle if you're back against the wall and she had to combat
Smack
people.
that book in someone's face. Stop doing this.
yeah, pulled out his stuffed animal for one attack just to have it. Sandy's nut is in her dash attack because squirrel.
Yeah, but aside from that, no, yeah. As far as these games are concerned, they've done a pretty good job. I've even heard some people complain about Multiverses doing this, and I mean, maybe a few Iron Giant moves fall into that category.
Iron Giant is the only one that I can really point to and criticize.
Yeah, sorry, what?
Other than that, I do think they know when to stop with references. And
Yeah, it's either
they feel like they're allowed to make some creative liberties.
Yeah, and it's either that or the Shaggy meme, and the argument is just, oh, I don't like Shaggy meme, and that's really it.
Or I don't like most of his moveset being revolved around this meme, but
yeah. But you know what, that what you said was a fair criticism, yeah.
That's fair.
So overall, this isn't an easy balance to achieve, but I think Smash takes the best approach with it. Almost all modern Smash characters strike that perfect balance, but whenever they do mess it up, they usually lean towards making the moveset good at the cost of not feeling completely like the character, which I think is a good decision. But for Multiverses...
Oh, he does! He does! Well, we already said the point.
As a Nick All-Star, it's almost always way too many references at the cost of little to no moveset cohesion.
Oh, you're not gonna show any examples?
Yeah, for real!
Examples you could have found for Multiverses, but...
This is what I hate. It's like, if you couldn't use Nasby and Multiverses, you'd be fucked.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Lessons learned. What did we learn, class? Please put it in your report paper. I expect a five essay paper, 600 pages over the weekend, and you don't like get at least a C, you failed.
What did we learn? We learned that Combo Devils is a great game, is going to be out eventually. Rivals 2, Rivals 2, Rivals 2. Did I do it?
Yeah.
So what does this all mean? I guess, weirdly enough, the main thing this showed me is that, options are insanely important. You shouldn't remove all casual elements of Smash games, but you obviously shouldn't make them mandatory either. Although I have a feeling that any big companies looking for easy money from a crossover Smash clone wouldn't like the put more effort in than it seems like you need to approach. I think that's the reason that most of these games cut out all of the non-competitive features. It's too much extra work for parts of the game that your demographic seemingly doesn't even use. So the other important lesson is that you should focus on casual players.
How can you have the argument where it's like, oh, I understand that these things look like they're not really used by a lot of people, so actually doing the effort seems plausible. And here's my second argument. Add more features though anyway. It's like, what? What did we learn? You said, hey, it makes sense why some people feel this way. Also, do it anyway, you stupid bitch. It's like, what are we saying? What are we saying?
This feels such a hypocritical video.
My lord, I want my cake and eat it. Be perfect, be amazing. All he did was talk about multiverses and Nazby. He didn't even bring up much regarding Rivals of Aether. He didn't even say if it was successful or what it didn't do well or whatever. It was
mostly just said he liked it and he likes the character designs.
It should have been why Nazby and multiverses were failing. He didn't talk about any of the other damn games. He didn't go over why there's a lot of expectations behind the genre, why a lot of people don't put a lot of emotional appeal or don't bother nailing down a lot of these casual features. Admittedly, they're very hard to do, but he doesn't really go behind any of the nuances behind it. He just says, hey, big companies, do this. I understand why you're not doing it, but you still need to do it.
No emotion.
No emotion. That's one thing Nazby 2 and Multiverses has over a lot of other platform fighters. No offense, but my god, you guys gotta give me reasons to enjoy your characters outside of gameplay functions.
I agree. This is like the reverse of the Colress meme from Pokemon. I disagree! It's like the reverse version.
Just blank out the diss and agree.
I agree!
Let's finish the video.
Okay.
If a game is fun for casual fans, they'll play it all the time. When you play a game all the time, you get better at it. Getting better makes you want to compare how good you are by playing against other people.
Not necessarily, but sure.
Bada bing, bada boom, competitive game. But if a game isn't fun, then nobody's playing it, competitive or otherwise.
You didn't tell me how it's fun!
There's a lot more that goes behind a game being fun, which you didn't talk about!
And fun is kind of suggestive, but important.
Exactly! It's subjective! Oh my god. You have to go and find that form of subjectivity that a lot of people like. Build your subjectivity off of objective lessons and history that you've seen that's going on forward, and you didn't do that! Oh, I'm remembering the ending. Oh my god, what the fuck does he say in the ending?
Now, am I really qualified to make these big sweeping claims about game design and what would and wouldn't make a successful platform fighter? No, but I am qualified to talk about what I, as the consumer and potential purchaser of platform fighting games, would like to see, which, according to self-entitlement and ignorance, means that I am valid and I expect the inevitable Disney platform fighter to credit me for creative guidance and advice.
That's a defense made out of sand.
That is. Here is your... Where is it? Here is your dislike. What are the comments? Do they agree or do they roast him? Comment! The games are poorly balanced, have terrible physics, has some of the worst animations I've seen in gaming, and they're puffed up to be a Smash killer by people who make up less than 1% of the Smash player base core community. Could care less who they are, competitive players. That's your answer, and any other is wrong. Even the biggest parasocial personalities on Twitch and YouTube couldn't get anyone to actually care about Melee again, despite Neat running the scene into oblivion.
This is the type of commenter that I want so I can yell at them, I swear. This is the type that I need.
Yes, here you go.
Screenshots it.
Boo this man! Boo this man!
I'm putting the GIF. Boo this man.
Oh, that was great.
You know what? Hold on. We gotta add to this. Hold on, I'm gonna restream it again. Hold on, where's the video?
That's it. Oh. No combo devils. The pack of oh, okay, this is better.
Should that be it?
Yeah, that should be it.
Can't believe you didn't include a game that's not out yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Bite Breakers.
And Bite Breakers.
Is that it? Is that it anymore?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, here we go.
And it's his problem.
Put in the Homer Simpson meme of just him just sleeping, and that's just everyone on Twitter when they make a bad take. You just make the take, and then you just go immediately to sleep, and that's the world's problem. Oh, this was great. Oh fuck! I'm
Anything else to say?
Oh man!
I should have put Blindside. You probably don't even know what Blindside is.
Eat it. Kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls.